Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of Telltale's Batman: The Enemy Within. It's basically Season 2. So Season 2 follows Bruce Wayne and Batman. Yes, I know they're the same person, but in this game one of the core mechanics is you can choose to go as either one in certain situations. This time you are up against a criminal organization called the Pact, and well, it's a group of criminals, and they're causing havoc, doing their criminal thing. You've got the Riddler, who he's the first one you run into, and you don't really know about the Pact immediately. No spoilers, because it happens pretty early on. I actually liked this version of the Riddler. I'm just going to say that. I'm generally not a big Riddler fan. I mean, he's still kind of really obnoxious, but in this one, he's kind of sadistic, like super sadistic. John Doe once again appears. We all already know who he is. Let's not even bother with that. But it is an interesting story. I do have my complaints about it, and I think I'm going to do a spoiler talk video to address those. But overall, I did, for the most part, enjoy the story. Onto the audio. The audio was good in this game. I didn't really notice missing sound effects. I didn't really notice anything that I had complaints with. The voiceover work was very well done. I also felt like the music was excellent and the sound effects. But that's not too surprising. I always feel like Telltale does a very good job with sound effects, music, and voiceover work, since interactive narrative, it's a key element. Then there's the gameplay, which it's nothing new. It's still the same old that we have seen from every Telltale game. Little bit of exploration, a lot of point and click, a lot of quick time events to handle the action-oriented sections. Not sure where to put this, so I'll include this in this. This one felt longer than the last season. I could be wrong about that. I do feel like Telltale games have been getting progressively shorter. Maybe I'm just crazy, but that's how it feels. And since they're not full price games, that's kind of okay with me, but I do wish they were a bit longer.
Okay, so sorry for the audio on this because I'm adding this in post, but there is one thing I did need to address and I forgot to, and that is the fact that there was one technical glitch I ran into where I would pause the game and the audio would continue on its own, and it could really fuck with the rest of the game and freeze frames and just kind of make me basically have to quit out and restart. And this happened to me, I don't know, 3 or 4 times throughout my entire playthrough, so not like constantly, but it was obnoxious and it was kind of a problem. I'd say it's my biggest complaint with the game.
The controls worked well. There were times, once again, and I've noticed this in other Telltale games, where I felt like I did the command, I felt like I pressed the correct buttons, and it says I did not in that sequence. So that got a little frustrating at times, but it was never dramatic. It never caused me to fail. It never caused anything that I couldn't recover from. So not that big of a deal, just kind of frustrating. Lastly, the graphics. The graphics in this game, it's pretty standard Telltale, and while it works for Batman, I enjoy it for Batman. I enjoy it for The Walking Dead as well, because those are both comic books, or they have comic book origins, I should say. So does Guardians of the Galaxy, so I think that works there. But I do think they, at some point in time, need to experiment with their visuals. I think it works fine for certain games, but let's point out Game of Thrones, they could have done something more realistic. That's not to say that I don't enjoy the art style and I don't enjoy what they do. I would like to see them diversify a little bit. So I would say overall that if you're a fan of interactive narratives, just like any other Telltale game, this is pretty worth playing. Well, not any Telltale game. There are definitely some that have not been worth playing. But this one, on the other hand, I would recommend. I did have a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed and was engrossed in the story and the characters. Okay, so in the comments below, why don't you tell me if you're a fan of the Riddler or not? And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share, subscribe. Have a good one.